Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hello, we're here. We have more BumbleKast. The questions, they just keep coming, and they don't stop coming. Head to the rule. Now you hit the ground running, but it didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, and your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. Yes.
On that note, we were saving the big thank you list for the last episode of the month.
Yeah.
This is the last episode of the month, but we already ran the list, Kyle.
You're welcome. What were we supposed to do?
A new feature. We already fumbled the ball.
Well, I mean, I told you. And you said, no, we got to record it this week. And I'm like, okay.
Well, then you could have, if you knew better, you could have held on to it and plugged it into this one.
You know what? Doesn't matter. We said
not terribly, but to me, I am very upset for this moment, and will probably forget by the time we finish recording and have moved on with my life. But for this moment, scandal.
Oh no!
Dejection.
We did it once. At least we did it once this month. Like, you do it once every month, you know? It may not have to be the last episode of the month, but it could be once a month. I don't know, man. I'm just here. I'm just here while you answer these questions.
These questions from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members?
Yes, those questions. And they
My goodness, well, we better get to them.
Yeah, and they have many questions. Like I said, they don't stop coming. Here's a question to start us off from Andrew D. So, the Minecraft Sonic texture pack introduced some cool things, one of them being Amalgam Mechasonic. The original concept art looked pretty different, and the final result shows that all of its Mechasonic Mark II parts are the same as what the now Scrapnik version currently possesses, plus some minor little extra parts. When Amalgam Mechasonic is first fought, it is in a rusted state similarly to the now Scrapnik version. IDW hinted that we have not seen the last of the Scrapniks. I know I can't ask if IDW is gearing up toward an Amalgam Mechasonic's appearance, so instead I must ask if something like this Minecraft Sonic texture is able to be used, and if so, go pitch this awesome concept.
I honestly don't know if that would be available to us. That might be some kind of weird rights issue or usage thing. I really don't know.
Well, you'll just have to find out, I guess, by pitching it right now. I'm
in no huge rush because our current Scrapnik Mecha is a pretty well-defined character. We have Metal Sonic. Mecha version 3 hasn't even been utilized yet. We got enough Robot Sonics running around.
We got a lot. I still miss Shard, though. Bring that boy back. I don't know how, but somehow. What if in an alternate universe, the Cranes are a family of monster hunters like the Belmonts? How would Frasier and Niles fare as monster hunters by night and therapists by day? How would Martin figure into this? When they get to Dracula, they may be a bit confused, but they get him staked. But I don't know what they'll do about those tossed salads and bloody tears.
Okay, so Martin runs the whole monster hunting operation.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you don't mean Monster Hunter like the Capcom series, but damn it, I'm throwing Palicos in there.
I know.
They're the staff. And
Konami, Capcom, and Frasier.
Yeah. I'm imagining something that's kind of borderline steampunky, like that awful Von Helsing movie starring Hugh Jackman, which is a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yes.
But God,
Niles and Frasier just going around on really crappy low budget sets. Just
honestly, Niles, let's focus on the mission at hand. I'm just saying, if there's a werewolf in London, it stands to reason there's one in Prague and also in Paris. Why can't we make a trip out of this?
I was gonna say, it's just just imagine I can totally see this. Why is this so perfect?
After following a string of bloodied bodies and tackling the eldritch horrors of the night, they finally reach the castle way out in the European countryside. They scale the rain-slicked stone walls. They fight past horrors that would drive most men mad and finally reach the inner chamber with a great demonic force that commands all of these hellish beasts wait for them. Oh, hello, Maris.
They're just verbal sparring the whole time, aren't they? Like, not even paying attention. Like
Niles, do you think we have a chance against these vampires? Oh, I think I'd stake my life on it. Honestly, Niles, puns at this hour. But I need a bit of levity. What you need is a good psychologist. Really, do you know any?
Like, I can imagine Fraser just turning around to look at Niles and argue with him, but at the same time, he just whips her behind his back and just hits something randomly. Just like, not even paying attention to actually what they're supposed to be doing. It's just so goofy. I love it. I love it. Absolutely outstanding. Thank you, Batman69 Law. Thank you for this wonderful Frasier Castlevania crossover. Here's a question from Blue Cube. I've seen discussions surrounding Rouge's potential origin story. Some people think it'd be cool if she had a tragic backstory, while others just like it how it is, with her just being a jewel thief / government spy with no further questions. Seeing as we've seen Shadow and Omega's backstory, would you ever want to dwell deeper into her origin, or do you like it more adjacent to the majority of the cast with minimal background?
At this point, I prefer the minimal background. I like that she is unapologetically herself, and if there is any question to her motivations or origins, she isn't going to tell. She's a master thief and spy. She's going to be a woman of mystery. And, maybe that's something that she keeps close to the vest. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's tragic or even all that interesting. It could be that's just who she's always been, but she knows that for whatever reason, that nugget of information is deemed valuable, and therefore she will keep it to herself.
Go off, Queen. You don't need no backstory. Sometimes you can just be you. Here's one from E200 Paragon. The Sonic franchise seems to throw around the concept of immortality quite often without any regard for what it actually means. Individuals like Shadow, Black Doom, in the end, are biologically immortal and they can't die via natural causes such as old age or diseases, but can still die through physical means. But then you have individuals like Dark Gaia, Iblis / Mephiles, and King Boom Boo, who are cosmically immortal, and that they cannot die, period, and even if they do, they can just come back to life at any time. With all of this in mind, my question is, given the circumstances of his character, is Chaos biologically immortal or cosmically immortal?
I would contest that Iblis / Mephiles are cosmically immortal because as Solaris, the singular entity and by far the more potent one, was killed. Just snuffed out. So, but we're getting into the weeds here. Chaos, by this criteria, would be cosmically immortal because Chaos is dead.
Mm-hmm. Is Chaos biologically immortal or cosmically immortal? Yes.
Now, before the whole slaughtering of the Chow thing, I would argue biologically immortal. He may not be one of the light Chow, but he's a mutant Chow in his own right of tremendous power. I would imagine he was nigh immortal in his own right, but
he's made up of a lot of water, so I think he's pretty heavy. He's definitely not a light Chow.
Honestly, Niles.
Finest Cacophony has a question. Hello, BumbleKast. I've shaken Rosie's magic 8-ball to determine Starline's next isekai. Ian, what if instead of crushed under rubble, Dr. Flatline was buried under raw Australium, altering his physical might and giving him a gorgeous mustache?
Each little swoop just looks like the swoop of his hair.
Oh, no.
I mean, you hear the rumble of the rubble, and then he just erupts, a foot taller than Eggman and twice as broad-shouldered.
Uh-huh. He truly becomes glorious.
Great Scott, I thought you were dead. Yes, well, Doctor, I'm slightly Australian now. Not Australian, Australian.
Australian, yes.
I'll give you a head start and get that mecha over there. And then he just rips the mecha apart barehanded.
Oh, man. Oh.
He conquers the world single-handedly. He's an unstoppable force until he loses track of that last little bit of Australium, to which he's then confronted by the true Golden God, an Australian-empowered supersonic.
Sonic's
and you better believe the mustache is gold and spiky, too.
Sonic's Hale?
When did he put on those tiny shorts?
What about Big as Saxton Hale instead?
I mean, it's kind of neutralizing at that point. Infinite power with infinite power is going to be infinite anyway. There is no limit.
That's true. It's a good point.
Maybe he just gets like a tiny little matching mustache.
It is a funny visual, though.
He sounds slightly more Australian. I'm going into Cockney. I can't do a good Australian accent.
No, me neither. I can't do a good any accent. All right, here's a question from Happy Times. Fang and Rouge both arrive at Angel Island at the same time to try and steal the Master Emerald from Knuckles. How does the first meeting between classic and modern's thieves go, and who has the Master Emerald by the end of this?
It ends with Knuckles getting it back and flying the island forward happily ever after, but Rouge is going to have it for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Fang is the Wile E. Coyote of the Sonic universe. They approach the Emerald Shrine at the same time. Knuckles is like, don't you do it. And Rouge points at Fang and goes, Knuckles, he's trying to steal the emerald. And while he's distracted pummeling Fang, she grabs it and runs.
Yes, but it ends with Rouge giving it back.
How you figure?
I don't know. She likes Knuckles too much. Or she realizes she can't carry it. It's too big.
After a series of misadventures of basically stealing it from Fang, who steals it from Knuckles, who steals it from Fang, who is then stolen from by Rouge, she's just exhausted.
Mm.
It's like everyone's in a heap at the edge of the island. She's looking down. It's like, I gotta lug it all the way down there. No, we're done. You just keep this stupid thing. It stinks like a kid in this do.
We got a question from Icon PNG. In a different universe, Silver and Blaze are part of the cast of Sonic Prime. How would each Silver and Blaze's Shadowverse variants in Bosscade's Maze, No Place, and New York be called, and what would their personalities be like?
Well, you got to go with Long John Silver in No Place. I mean, the joke writes itself. It's pirates. Come on. And
is Blaze, ironically enough, a pirate queen?
Yeah, might as well go with that. Sure. Captain Firewater. That might be culturally insensitive.
You don't cross her either way.
True enough. But yeah, she'd be the imperialist conqueror of the seas, and he would be first mate.
Nice.
We're in Boss Cage. Blaze is a shut-in because she's afraid of setting the forest on fire. Her name is Kindle.
Ooh.
And is very repressed. It's her own fear of her powers taken to the extreme. And Silver, base Silver, cherishes the greenery of the world because he's never experienced that level of verdant life. So Boss Cage Silver is really into the trees. He sees himself as one of the trees. He is part of nature physically. And he has fronds for each one of his goofy little front bangs, whatever you want to call them, spines. Not going to go the whole leaf angle, but those who know, they get the reference.
He speaks for the trees.
Call him Silver Pine. And New York, they are both outsiders. Take the theme of he's from another time, she's from another dimension, so go cyberpunk with them. They are outside the law. They are outside the system. Lots of neon running lights in their outfits. And call them Quicksilver and Firebrand. And they're just like a perfectly in sync duo that causes trouble for the sake of just fighting the system, man.
Gotta take them out. Prepare for trouble. Make it double. All right, here's a question from MK. Not sure if you can elaborate on this, but I was wondering if the visual gag with Knuckles and Sonic having a glaring contest in Frontiers was your input when writing the dialogue. If you can't, then were there any pleasant surprises when seeing the finalized scenes you wrote for?
That stage direction was in the script, and I'd say most of it was realized, and some of it was written kind of open-ended because I wasn't quite sure what they could do in engine in terms of cutscenes, and some of the transitions between scenes to gameplay were still kind of being determined while the script was being written. So the fact that so much of what I envisioned actually made it into the game was really neat.
Yeah, that's awesome. And our last question before we take a break is from Mixger17. What's the favorite fruit of as many characters you feel like saying that you can think of one for, if any? Or a second favorite for Tangle, since you said her favorite food in general is strawberries.
Let's see. Sonic is good on like anything he can kind of eat on the run. So like your apples, maybe a banana. Throws the peel behind it to trip up Metal Sonic, but Metal Sonic doesn't really technically run. So Sonic's like, oh yeah, and then keeps moving. Tails, see him as a citrus guy. He goes to the point of chopping up the fruit so that he can like toothpick eat it, so he's not getting all sticky gummy hands all over the keyboard. Then you have to wash your gloves, and that's all gross because but Amy, favorite. I don't know, what's a particularly sweet fruit?
Dragon fruit or mangoes, I guess.
Yeah.
Cherries, especially maraschino cherries.
Yeah, maybe cherries. Yeah. I think she just likes the general sweetness of it. Knuckles, it's established grapes. I mean, that's canon. Tangle, second to strawberries, raspberries. She likes berries. Berries are good.
Berries.
Whisper's kind of along the same lines. Berries are easy to forage. You can pop a few on the road. You can quietly consume them while you're stalking a target. Tangle's like, that's a little dark, but yeah, okay, that works too.
There's a guy named Barry. She likes him.
Eggman likes pineapple.
Really?
He likes pineapple pizza.
Does
he likes a fruit that fights back, but then he conquers it because he eats it and ingests it. It tried to fight all those tiny little micro needles, but he consumed it. Ha ha! Take that, fruit.
Does he eat the whole thing?
Oh yeah, rind and everything.
Oh, okay.
Just right straight into it like an apple.
Man, his
boss, I don't think that's how it works. Shut up! What do you know? Whatever you program me to know, I guess.
His mouth must just be like shredded. Just absolutely destroyed.
Hey, the game has already proved, all the games and stuff have proved that Eggman is completely shredded.
But he doesn't eat eggplants?
It's not a fruit, is it?
I think it might be.
It's like tomato, and it's considered a vegetable, but it's technically a fruit?
It is a fruit, yeah.
Really?
Like a tomato.
I thought it was a vegetable.
Nope, it is a fruit.
Son of a gun. All right.
It has seeds. So, there you go. Now we've learned. Apparently it's even a type of berry, if you want to go even further.
Okay, now you're just kind of destroying my worldview.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
On the plus side, there's a joke by the Team 4-Star group in DBZ Abridged that now makes more sense. So, thank you for that.
Well, on that note, I suppose it's time to take a quick break. So let's do that. And then come back with more on the BumbleKast. We're back, and we got a question from Anonymous. Could Surge generate electrical energy by consuming food, or the other way around, sustain her body solely by absorbing power from an energy source?
Huh.
It's an interesting thought.
That is a good question. I am inclined to believe that she needs to eat to sustain herself, but that she could potentially get by, at least for a brief time, with a pure energy source. But don't put that in a wiki or anything as like hard canon. That's just me speculating here. That would be interesting to explore at some point, though.
What is Surge's favorite fruit?
Pineapple. She likes the fact that it fights back and she wins. And with the serrated teeth, she absolutely is able to tear through it. She like cores it just right there.
Yeah.
And then she makes Kit eat the rind.
Yeah. Or maybe she has like jackfruits or durians or something like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Stink up the entire place.
Yes, it stinks and spiny as all heck. Yeah, definitely something like that. We got one from Ann Tails. Is there a lore reason why Pirate Sonic is so hot?
Whatever floats your pirate boat, man.
I think it's the partially unbuttoned shirt, maybe? I don't know. It's like the Jack Sparrow effect.
I'm sure there's a much deeper discourse on the socially conditioned cues to particular outfits.
Yeah.
And how we are reacting not to an actual image, but to like just the basic geometric shapes we've been trained to react to. But I am not smart enough in any of those disciplines to say, so I'm just going to leave it at whatever floats your boat.
Here's a question from Noni. Is there a lore reason why Captain Shadow is so hot?
Go join the flotilla all the way from shore.
Sail that ship. The ship sails yet again. Nice. Normal person has a question. Comedy is the game, and it's in the name. What would happen if Shadow and Jewel had their bodies switched?
Jewel would not have a good time. For one thing, she's now like double her height. She doesn't know how to handle that much mass and space.
Jewel doesn't seem like she has a good time in general. She really wouldn't have a good time not being herself.
No. Like, how do these shoes even work? She's crashing into walls. There's this kind of tingly sensation. It seems to be located around the ring. Should she take those off? No, she should not take those off.
Oh, boy.
No, she's accidentally teleporting between walls. She is very disoriented. She just wants to sit down and wait this out. Please, nobody come near her. She is just having a bad day. Meanwhile, Shadow is like, and has figured out how to turn her body into a ballistic missile. Like, he is reaching Mach 1 with those little wings. He's curling up into the shell form and smashing through badniks. He has become a living artillery shell. And they swap back, and Jewel is, very appreciative that he protected her life and limb, but what did he do to her outfit?
He's definitely, of course, Jewel is obviously wearing her normal outfit the whole time, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, Shadow wouldn't bother like getting rid of the pink heels or anything. No.
He is raining terror in that pencil skirt.
That's right. As he should be.
Contour control.
As he should be. Oh, yeah. Very good, very good. Puppy the Scholar has a question. So, in Dark Mobius, Vector's got a thing for single mothers. Tensions are high, Knuckles is out of the picture, Julie Sue is alone, spending all day presumably being in charge of everything. She's stressed. Everything is thrown upside down due to the war. Will opposites attract? Enemies to lovers? Would Vector and Julie Sue find something in each other? Why are you screaming?
Now, here's the thing. I'm actually trying to think about the continuity of that timeline. And Knuckles wasn't gone very long, I don't think.
He was gone long enough.
Because he wasn't fully out of the picture. That's the Dark Interjack line. So would they have had enough time? Well, no, because you had Laura Sue in the mix. So would Vector have been around long enough after Knuckles went fully off the deep end? Or did Knuckles turn him into a prelate early on? I know this is a joke question, but I'm actually trying to figure out the continuity on this and how it would work.
Knowing Puppy, they would actually be interested in how it would work, like legitimately. I don't know how much this is a joke.
Now, because I know back when we had the old Archie Sonic blogs, I tried to fill in some of the gaps with some of the blog entries. And so they were like soft canon, but it's been so long since I worked on those or had to think about that particular flavor of Sonic canon. I don't remember. But I think there was a period of time where Knuckles was slowly making his descent into supervillain mode, but he was still with Julie Sue. Julie Sue was still trying to make things work, make lemonade out of the copious amounts of lemons he was handing her. And then the Chaotix would have taken a stand against their buddy for his own good at some point, and that's when they would have got the prelate treatment. So, but Laura Sue was practically grown, and Julie Sue was still around. And then in the Silver story, we saw that Julie Sue was a prelate, so there has to have been some period of time. But when was Vector transformed? When was his core taken? It could have happened any time in that. How old was she? 15, 16 years?
Mm-hmm.
But, alternate universe, you can do another spin on it if you want. Knuckles is gone completely early on, and, single mom, Julie Sue needs help, and Vector's not the stepdad, the dad that stepped up.
It's not the dad we need, but the dad we deserve.
Shoulder checks the enemy into the wall. You just got dad bodied.
Snap.
And Laura Sue's like, oh my God, Dad, just don't, come on.
Oh, jeez. All right. We got one here from Rockamillion. A while ago, I said I wanted to see Tails interacting with other GameCast characters aside from Sonic and IDW. One particular team-up I'd love to see is Tails, Cream, and Gemroll. I think it's really weird that team-up hasn't happened yet, considering Tails reprogrammed Gemroll to be Cream's guardian. I think those three would make for a great trio and have lots of fun and wholesome interactions together. It's really starting to bug me that Tails is still getting no meaningful interactions with other GameCast members, especially since all the others are getting plenty. I'm sorry, I'm an impatient person. Please give Tails more. He doesn't need to be tied to Sonic 24/7. Let him go on more adventures with game characters other than Sonic. Let him strengthen his relationships with other game characters. Let my boy fly higher.
Feedback taken under consideration.
Alrighty. I mean, guess can't really... You must have some kind of knowing smile going on right now, don't you?
Honestly, I've worked so far ahead, I don't know what we have immediately coming up.
But something's coming. Something's coming, and you know things.
Well, I mean, there's at least one thing Tails related that's coming up soonish.
Yeah. Scourge time has a question. Theme park time. Scourge, Fiona, and the Destructics end up in a theme park. What will each of them do to enjoy themselves in a place like this? Destroy it, I would assume.
Have fun. Well, yeah, by the end, sure. But you got like Simian and Predator and Lightning, who I don't know if they understand the concept of fun. They've been so embittered by the world. It's just like, look at these fools letting their guards down and wasting their time with these frivolities. Harumph. Flying's out there trying to be the creepiest carny of them all. I mean, he's having a grand old time.
I figured they just caused mayhem by jacking the bumper cars and driving them around and terrorizing everybody.
Maybe Fiona wants to just have a fun day, so they're under orders to not tear it down. She wants to enjoy herself. Damn it, you boys get in line. Scourge is like, yeah, fine, whatever, for once. But, he's purposefully being too aggressive with any of the games and causing all sorts of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually it will lead to them burning the whole thing to the ground.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what it's there for, right?
Maybe it's about the time that Fiona decides she wants to go on some of the rides, and you're like, you're charging how much per ticket? Oh, no.
Oof. Here's a question from Scurvy Pirate Dog. There's been so many questions about Starline making imposters of everyone. Well, enough is enough. So what if Eggman took Starline's data and created a Starline imposter? Let's see how Starline likes it.
Well, the whole lifelike cyborg thing isn't really his style. The shadow androids kind of skate that line, but they're still very robotic in their presentation.
Yeah, but he's doing it specifically to spite Starline.
Nah. He wouldn't stoop to Starline's methodology. He'd just make a metal Starline.
Well, I mean...
And this thing would be kitted out with everything Starline ever had. Short-range teleportation, a poison needle, electrical stirrups, some kind of headache-inducing vertigo ray, tri-core systems so that he can like shift gears and overpower or outmaneuver or just chase down anything in his way. This thing is an absolute multifunctioning monster. And as it closes in on Starline and corners him with absolutely no chance of escape, Starline's like, "You do care."
Does it have an obnoxiously haughty British accent?
No, it is delightfully taciturn.
Oh. And yet it's also a super simp for Eggman. Just like the real thing.
He's constantly keeping an eye on Metal Sonic for any insubordinate thoughts.
Exactly.
I do have to, like, I can imagine the general design pretty easily.
Yeah.
You know, turn the vest into like some kind of armored chest piece. The rest of it is, you know, parsed down to your Metal Sonic basics, but how would you make that wavy hair work?
Well, let's call up Patrick Spaziante and have him
God.
I'm ready. Oh, that would be sweet. All right, we got one last question to close us out, and it's from Twilord. He said that if the end got stuck in Sonic's head, they would want to jump to Shadow's. How would they react to being greeted by Doom's disembodied voice and learning Shadow's internal life was otherwise identical to Cream's?
Now I'm envisioning something like the end of Majora's Mask when you go inside the moon and it's just this open field with a singular tree. There's a very contented Shadow, his inner self, just kind of chilling out on autopilot, not really engaged. You've got tiny balloon-sized at the end floating around going, "What is this?" And then you've got just like Black Doom floating around like an angry ghost. "Have you paid for admission to come into my son's head?" What the hell is going on? I want to go back to Sonic.
You'll cringe the end. Oh no.
Shadow sees this moon floating by. He's like, "Didn't I blow up half of that before?"
Bum, bum, bum. All right. That's it. That's all we got.
Thank you so much to everyone who contributed their questions via patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, it's the end of the month. Let's roll that big thank you list one more time. Big thank you to Daniel H., Jennifer R., James K., John B., Robotnik Home, Sam Cybercat, Samuel P., Torchbound, Andrew D., Mike B., Salute Cat, Dave M., Noni J. Frost, Coupling Crew 128, Duas Dizdin, Hero of Light 13, Professor Scruffy Matt, Chris A., Sony, Scurvy Pirate Hog, Arc Fighter, Ben Wolfsbane, John M., Triforce Riku, Sonic, Twilord, Chaos Sonic 1, Jib, Lisa M., Lee HK, Ink Think, Stardust Spectre, Chevelle, Tick Tick, Mixer 17, Axis, Starlight Sec, Mismatch Moogle, Z Broadcast, Joshua S., Cameron H., Jolene B., Jonathan D., The Disgayan, Solaire Stain, Godzilla, Nondle, Dominic the Raccoon, Ava Arctic, Dove, Alex KR, Justin Mountain Soul, Jay the Redneck, Yuma221, Hannah W., Venus, Jennifer H., Justin S., Angela V., Alphamon or Yukon, Dadler the Dalek, Jack the Animator, Sonic Legacy, Jesse, Tetsuya, The Wise, Les, Wildcard 717, Independent, Daniel B, Red the Supernamic, Chad of the Stars, Ginzel, Sandra BH, and Tails, Wheelie Doe, Thievius, Sammy S, Puppy the Scholar, Illegal Chow Fights, Miles the Prower, Navari, Exidel, Agent Kaz, Derusivals, 4 Sonic Fan, Rhythm and Tempo, The Marble Gardener, Morless, E200 Paragon, Pig Dan, Preston M, Rocco D, Ozjam, Shimmy M, Curly Quills, Noah M, Gojira Highwind, Awesome Cakester, Smiley 21, Supersonic Fan, Radri Chase, L, Philip is Cold, Sterling Sonic, Congo, Windskull, Supernova, Superior Pizza, Sonic Patch, Ty H, Sonic 84, Thickoff, Planet Breezy, Hearts 13, Omega Man 21, Nils, Unity, Jason G, In Zephyr, Amazing, Miss Nizumi, SB, My Fish Eats Rocks, The ID Card, Jonathan F, Hip Kid Brick, Levi C, Subliminal, Gino the Puppet, T Ranger, Samuth S, Miggy Sawdust, Adrian W, Vlad, Knuckles Sandwich 87, Lemur Chicken, Sheen, Fang, Glitchiest, M Bluette, Cool Christy 1, Ashter, Luke R, Michael P, Jada, Alejandro 333777, Loose, Noah I, Trocon H, Blahaj Blast, The Phantomist, OK Cheesestick, Lacey M, William M, Lucky Lychee, Spiral, Silver Moon 21K, Pit Viper, Icy Wolf, North Sol 15, Relaxed Hoodie, and Native Nerd 27, all Peachy Ultra Guy, Noob 600, Crowbo, Angel Fox, Kitsune, Zeto V, Sonic Mania 2099, Hadronus, Raccoon Shinobi, Normal Person, Marcy H, Caswell, Mr. Murderburn, The Giant Murdering Bird, _ Turtle Tuck, Widemo, Chuka S.A., Gideon W., Boy King Elias, Paley, Jihan S., Snow Pear, Lovo M., The Man of Multimedia, Foofy 93, Mr. Stimpy, Kazi, Rosavoli, Icon PNG, Zex, Soul Dice, Florian, Call Me Ryan, Onion Girl, Candy B, Cat Van Bryan, and Trevor. Followed by Michael D, another Michael D, Jamal M, Jamal S, Wheels 282 Hedgehog, Metamode, Frost the Hobbadon, Danny the Light, Butter Noodles, Miles Power D, L Technopada, True Cosmic Digilab 79, Hero Squad, Kaizen Amen, Woods, Quentin D, Happy Times, Lucio X 30, Missile the Sandcat, Scourge Time, Sprites Forever, Steph Cube, TV Guru, Rare Dragon 5, Zenimax, Alex Arts Here, Dandy Kaiju, Sonic Man, Twilord's 3-year-old niece, Crab, Just Some Dude 7, Phyllis, Rakayans, Train Master 9977, Fox the Fox, Mobius Saving Throws, and finally, the Might of Gabura. And that is going to officially wrap us up for BumbleKast in July. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time for BumbleKast in August. Let's roll that big thank you list one more time.
Fine. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Beans. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org. Oh no, not August.
It's August.
It's the worst month of the year.
Yeah, pretty much. No holidays. It's stinking hot.
It's the hottest month. No holidays. And you gotta go back to school.
Not up here. They have until September at least.
Do they? Jeez. We go back like it's early August here. I don't know why. Yeah, I guess we hate the children, which would track.
It was based more on crops.
Yeah.
The season.
Yeah.
It's a slightly different growing season up here, so they would wait till September, but they go all the way into June.